Hello, everyone, and welcome to Roundtable. I am Vinny Close, Assistant Council Commissioner for Roundtable Program and Support for Great Trail Council, and we're happy you've joined us tonight. We always say that we have a lot of information to share with you over the next hour, but this month we really do, and we're going to try to get it all in an hour. So let's start like we always do. This time, though, just with the Scout Law, from a recruiting video that units can use in their own recruiting efforts.
Mom, I gotta go. I'm on now. A scout is trustworthy,
loyal,
helpful,
friendly,
courteous, kind,
obedient.
Is there any more pizza? Cheerful, thrifty,
brave,
clean and not afraid to get dirty,
and reverent.
and hungry. And hydrated is good too.
Scout me in. Scout me in.
Okay, Adam.
All right, thanks, guys. And if you have some scouts in your unit who would like to lead us in the pledge, oath, and scout law, let us know in the chat, and we'll contact you after the broadcast to make arrangements. We want to welcome those of you that have joined us online. We're happy you've joined us. To help us track attendance, share your unit number and city in the chat. And if you have any questions at all during the live broadcast, let us know, and we'll get them answered either in the chat or live here on air. Our council commissioner is standing by, ready to help. Now, if you have questions about something that you have seen during Roundtable, whether it's this episode or a previous episode, or you just have a scouting question and you don't know who to ask, let us know. We have a very simple form that we've created, goes directly to me, that will help you get your question or problem answered. I've only gotten one question so far in 6 months, so if you got something, let me know. You can see the address to get that form below at the bottom of the screen, gtcscouting.org/help. And if we like it, we may even use your question in a future episode. It's time now for our safety moment, and for this month, it's all about diabetes. Now, very likely, someone in your unit has diabetes. In the dozen or so years that I've been involved in my Scouts BSA troops, we've had at least one person the entire time that is a type 1 diabetic. Now, diabetes can be a life-threatening problem if the person's blood sugar gets too high or too low. Low blood sugar, also known as hypoglycemia. Strenuous exercise can decrease the blood sugar in all of us, and this is especially true for people with diabetes, for whom low blood sugar or hypoglycemia can occur suddenly. Now, the symptoms for low blood sugar might include sweating, rapid heartbeat, weakness, confusion, unconsciousness, even seizures. If this situation arises, here's what to do. If the person is conscious, give them something with sugar, juice, regular Coke, not Diet Coke, sugar cubes, candies, glucose tablets or glucose gels. My troop, we keep glucose tablets in our first aid kit just for situations like this. And if there's no improvement within 15 minutes, seek immediate medical care. And remember that oral treatment should never be attempted if the victim is unconscious, because choking could result. High blood sugar, also known as hyperglycemia. Now, this can lead to diabetic ketoacidosis, also known as DKA. DKA can become severe and require immediate medical treatment. Symptoms of high blood sugar might include sleepiness, frequent urination, a lack of energy, heavy breathing, thirst, or loss of consciousness. If you encounter a situation like this, if they're conscious, give them sugar-free fluids such as water, Powerade, and tea. Unsweetened tea, of course. If a qualified individual is present, insulin can be administered, but only administer if you know the correct amount to give. And if the person is unconscious, immediately transport them to medical care. Now, here's a couple quick tips for you. You should develop a diabetic action plan with the individual and or their parents before a scouting event occurs. There have been many times that my troop, when we go to summer camp, we've even installed the app for the diabetic person on our phones, so if their readings go out of whack, we get an alert just the same as they do. Know the symptoms of high and low blood sugar levels. how to use a glucometer, and when to get medical help. For those of you that don't know, a glucometer is the device that will measure your blood sugar. A lot of people now just wear the continuous monitor that constantly is doing that, but there is still the one that will let you do finger pricks. And you want to make sure that the annual health and medical record contains the most current information. Worst thing we can have is to not know that a person's diabetic. And of course, make sure that you have adequate medication and supplies for the entire event before leaving on your outing. All right, now we have a couple of quick announcements from our council. First up, effective this past Monday, December 1st, the lobby hours for the Great Trail Council Service Center are now 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And we have introduced now an easier way to submit your Eagle application. No longer do you have to make the trek all the way to our office here in Stowe to turn in your Eagle application. You can now submit your application to the email address that you see on screen right there, eagle.app@gtcscouting.org. We'll also put that address in the chat so that you can copy and paste it if you need to. All right, up next is our membership moment, and we're going to talk about winter normal friend activities, also known as NFAs, a fun way to do activities with friends without the hard sell of recruiting over the winter months. Now, normal friend activities are a popular recruitment tool. These activities are low-pressure pack or troop events where units invite non-scouting friends or families to join them for an afternoon or evening of fun. This is part of dynamic recruitment where units look for ways to invite new members all year long. Remember, we don't want to necessarily be doing just the fall. Let's look at recruiting year-round. Now, the focus of these activities is not on advancement or recruitment, but on scouts and their families getting to know one another and forming friendships. Now, normal friend activities are popular during spring and fall recruitment, but winter also offers lots of opportunities for fun activities. Some activity ideas include skiing, sleigh riding, tobogganing, ice skating, building snow people, or even service projects like shoveling sidewalks or clearing fire hydrants of snow. The great thing about these activities is that it's easy for scouts to invite their non-scouting friends. Getting outside and having fun may inspire them to want to do more with your unit. So, before the snow starts to fall, I'm just reading the copy. This was done before it started snowing this week. Plan to incorporate some simple winter activities into your unit's calendar. Some might need to be on short notice depending on the weather. I can tell you how many times my troop has tried to do sledding and it's never worked out because there's never been enough snow on the ground. Your unit's parents will be happy that the youth are out of the house and active, and you may add some new members and some new friends. All right, we have some special hot topics that we'd like to cover for a few minutes. Some new additions that came up as we were preparing for our regular agenda tonight. And the first one has to do with the recent approval by the National Executive Board to permit family troops in Scouts BSA available available December 15th. Now we have 5 troops here in Great Trail that were part of the pilot program, and all 5 have already stated that they wish to continue as family troops going forward. So let's look now at the slide that we have with the information. So as we mentioned, this was approved by the National Executive Board, and it becomes effective available on December 15th. We have already reached out to those troops that were in the pilot program. They have all said, yes, we want to continue doing this, and they've already been making arrangements as far as refunding unit renewal fees if that needed to be done, all been taken care of. Scout executives for each council, as well as territory directors, are receiving the communication and updates for this. So every council, the Scout executive is getting the same information, and they pass it on to us as soon as they get anything new. Now, the important thing to remember with family troops, this remains an option. It's not a requirement. You're going to need to get your chartered organization on board with this if this is something that they want to do. Chartered organizations, as you can see, may opt to charter a boy troop only, a girl troop only, boy and girl troops, either linked or separate. And when we talk about linked, what that means is linked troops, like we have where I am at, they share a troop committee, but they remain separate for everything else, but they're just sharing one common group of people for the troop committee. Or they can opt to charter a family troop. If you and your chartered org is interested, you will need to fill out an intent to convert form as well as get your chartered organization's approval. Now, if you are chartered to Great Trail Council, they're going to approve that, so you're just going to need the rest of your unit to make sure that they're all on board. If you have any questions, you can obviously ask them here in the chat, or your district executive can also answer questions as they're getting fed the information from the Scout executive as they learn about it. For more information on the process as well as all of the forms that are currently available, you can see the address there at the bottom of the screen, gtcscouting.org/family-troops. And that has all of the forms. There's even a form out there, so if you do become a family troop and you later decide that you want to switch back, there is a form out there where you can do that switch back if you want. All right. Our next special hot topic has to do with recent changes to Scoutbook Plus. Now, we know not everybody uses Scoutbook Plus. Some of you like to use Troopmaster, some of you use other things, but for those of us that do use Scoutbook Plus, this is some changes that are affecting all of us. The first change has to do with new filters that got turned on. So this happened a couple of weeks ago, and you might be prevented in seeing members of your roster. So let's take a look at that slide to show you what we mean. If you're having trouble seeing members of your roster, whether you're a pack, a troop, crew, ship, whatever, you need to go in to your roster in Scoutbook Plus and select Reset Filters. You can see there it's got the red arrow that's pointing at where it is on the screen to say Reset Filters. This will clear out all the filters that got applied by default and were therefore preventing you from seeing anything, and it should now allow you to see everything that's going on. The second change has to do with a new feature called the Permissions Manager. So let's show you that slide. The Permissions Manager has been set up to give more granular control over what everyone can do within Scoutbook Plus. Before, it was pretty much you had access to everything or you had access to nothing. A unit's Key 3 and Key 3 delegates have full control by default. Key 3 is defined as the unit leader, committee chair, and chartered org rep or chartered org delegate if you're chartered to Great Trail Council. Other unit members, like committee members, assistant scoutmasters, den leaders, if we have any den cub packs watching this, youth members, you're going to need to have your permissions assigned by a member of the Key 3. And you can see the categories there and some quick definitions of what they are. So, for instance, Advancement Adult. This allows you to set up adults to award, approve, and edit youth advancement, basically recording advancement within Scoutbook. But it's important to note that only the Key 3 can search for merit badge counselors. Because remember, with merit badges, that is supposed to be a conversation initiated by the scout and their scoutmaster or designate. So that's why only the Key 3 can search that. Another change, which came as a request from a lot of troops out there, is the youth advancement permissions. If you want to set it up, you can assign youth in your unit to approve advancement dates for requirements for Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, and First Class ranks. They can do everything except record Scoutmaster conferences and boards of review. There's a lot of troops out there that allowed their youth to sign off on the lower ranks. This now gives them the opportunity to record that right in Scoutbook Plus. The calendar is another important one. This gives people the chance to edit and create calendar events, as well as record attendance. If you want your troop scribe to go in and record attendance, as they should be, you're going to want to send them in there and give them edit capabilities on the calendar. This is replacing what used to be known as the calendar editor position in the old Scoutbook. And then you can see some of the other stuff there. If you're doing messaging, you can set that up. If you do the messaging through Scoutbook Plus, leadership and membership, you can accept and assign leadership roles. Now, this is adults doing this, not youth. Now, if you have questions on it, there is a position/role manager's guide that's available for download. It is on the permissions manager page at the very top. And the address, in case you've never been on Scoutbook Plus or you just want to remember what it is, it's advancements.scouting.org. So again, got any questions on that, let us know. Shoot us a question over on that chat form or the help form, and we'll work to get that answered for you. Okay, time now for our first of two normal hot topics for tonight. And first, we're going to take a look at the role of commissioners and your unit. Who are they? What is their relationship to your unit? Do you even know who your commissioners are? Presenting tonight's new video from the National Council is Garfield Murden, National Director of Scouts BSA.
Hello there, fellow Scouters. Thank you for taking a few minutes to learn about something that directly impacts your troop's success. The exciting new changes to how commissioners support you and your Scouts. By the end of this video, you'll understand how the new approach to unit service will make things better for your troop and provide you with more insights and collaboration with your commissioner. Before we dive in, let's clarify what a unit commissioner actually does. A unit commissioner is a dedicated scouting volunteer whose primary job is to support you, the troop leader. Think of them as your advocate, coach, and resource guide, helping you keep your unit strong and successful. They don't run your troop. That's your responsibility. But they're there to offer guidance, connect you with resources, and help you overcome challenges. In short, your success is their mission. If your troop is thriving, they're doing their job right. So why are commissioners updating their approach? Strong, active troops are at the heart of great scouting experience. But we recognize that the way commissioners have been supporting troops through assessments has not always been helpful or clear. The old method often felt like receiving a grade instead of support. We really want a true partnership where commissioners listen to your troop's needs, provides real support, and help you thrive. A new version of Commissioner Tools was released in February 2025 and is designed to improve commissioners' interactions with you. But here's the really important part. You'll now have access to these key metrics that your commissioner sees. That's right, transparency. No surprises. This means you and your commissioners are looking at the same data, making it easier to identify strengths and opportunities for growth together. Let's talk about the 6 key measurable areas that provide insight into troop health. 1. Key leaders trained. Are your adult leaders trained for their roles? 2. Unit size. Is your troop growing or shrinking? 3. Membership growth. Are you recruiting new scouts consistently? 4. Advancement youth leaders. Are your scouts advancing and taking on leadership roles? 5. Outdoor activities. Are you getting scouts outdoors into adventure? 6. Youth retention. Are scouts staying year after year? These aren't just random numbers or subjective grading. They reflect the challenges and opportunities of your troop through real data. And remember, you'll have direct access to view these metrics anytime. Another big change is something called unit connections. Instead of commissioners doing simple or detailed assessments, they'll now engage with you in meaningful, goal-oriented conversations. Keep in mind, the commissioners don't set the unit goals. Instead, they work with you and the troop to identify the goals you want to work on. The goals of these connections are straightforward. Celebrate your successes, identify challenges, collaborate on solutions, provide resources that actually help. To guide these conversations, commissioners will use unit connection guides, tailored resources designed to keep the discussion focused and productive. It's real support and genuine teamwork that helps us succeed together. From a technology standpoint, both you and your commissioners will now have access to unit dashboards where you can see your troops' metrics, district dashboards, which help district leaders spot trends and ensure support is going to troops that need it most. It's all designed to make your life easier and your troops stronger without adding more work to your already full plate. This isn't a one-and-done change. Scouting America will continue to improve these tools throughout 2025. So here's the bottom line. More transparency between you and your commissioners, better support tailored to your troops' needs, and less confusion about what commissioners actually do, because now it's all focused on your success. Your commissioner isn't there to grade you. They're there to help you win. So lean into that relationship, ask questions, and let them support your mission to deliver incredible scouting experiences. If you have questions or need help navigating these changes, don't hesitate to reach out to your district or council leadership. Thank you for your time today, and most importantly, thank you for everything you do for Scouting. Now it's your turn. Please discuss these questions on the screen with your fellow leaders.
All right, thank you, Garfield. Now, before we dive into our second hot topic, I want to welcome in our first repeat guest here. You want to come a little forward so you're in the light? There we go. Our first repeat guest here at Roundtable, Lisa Testa, who will be the course director for next year's Wood Badge course. Lisa, welcome.
Thanks, Benny.
And no, you're not. I don't think you're on. There we go. Now we can hear you. You're the course director for our council's Wood Badge course coming up next year. So talk about Wood Badge. All of us in the room here, we've all taken it, so we obviously know it. But for those watching at home that don't know, tell us what Wood Badge is.
Well, Wood Badge is leadership training. Everybody thinks that Wood Badge is some kind of special club or group, and it's really not. It's all about improving ourselves and improving our leadership skills, which then improves our units.
So if I'm a leader, and this is for any program level, whether you're Cub Scouts, Scouts BSA, Venturing, Sea Scouts.
The only requirement is that you have your position-specific training already done.
Right.
So if you're a Cub, if you're in Cubs, if you're in Scouts, it's for everybody. Venturing, Sea Scouts, it benefits everyone. It's all the same training because leadership is leadership no matter what level of scouting you're doing.
Yeah, Skipper Belleville would love to have another Sea Scout person there.
He sure would.
So why, if I'm a leader, why should I attend Wood Badge? What's in it for me? What am I going to be getting out of it?
Well, it's 2 weekends. So you get 2 weekends out at camp, which is always enjoyable. You're led by a fantastic team of trainers. So I have a wonderful staff that's on board, and we're training and getting ready for the course. And you're going to learn communication skills, listening skills, leadership skills, everything you need to do to work with youth and other adults in your program. If you send your kids to NYLT, this is for Scouts, if you send your Scouts to NYLT, Wood Badge is the perfect complement in adult leadership training so that you can better work with those Scouts to improve your unit. If you're in Cubs, it helps you work and identify leaders. What kind of attributes do your other adults have? What are their skills that you can enhance and develop and help them be better leaders in your Cub units? Because for Cubs, you have such a transition year to year as people age out. You need to be able to identify those parents that can be helpers, future leaders, and hopefully your replacements as you move on to Scouts. So for every level of scouting, Wood Badge is a huge help in developing your own personal leadership skills. A lot of companies will actually pay for Wood Badge because they see the benefit of the course in how you work even with your coworkers and the leadership roles you're willing to take at work.
Yeah, that's an important point. So many companies recognize that this is a top-level training course, no different than Six Sigma or 5S or any of those things.
And a lot of those courses actually use some of the Wood Badge curriculum in their course development.
Yeah.
So,
I've been in some leadership things at my work where, of course, they were led by Scout leaders, but they did some of the activities that we've done at Wood Badge. They've done them
what
in
did you get
corporate
out of
training.
Wood Badge?
You know, for me, it was really honing in on the patrol method, because you're basically immersed in, you're the Scouts. We're just a little older, but you know, we started out as Cub Scouts on the first day, and then we moved up and became a patrol, and we had patrol leaders and assistant patrol leaders and patrol meetings, and we meet with the SPL and do everything that the Scouts do at the troop level, but now we were doing it, so we got to really get into those experiences and really see how you're supposed to do things, because we all know every troop is unique. They've all got their own little things that they do that maybe it's okay for them, but you're really getting taught, well, this is how we really want you to do it. You know, it's worked good for 110 years, so it must be pretty good.
I think it also is helpful as you go through Cub Scouts and Scouts in the Wood Badge course to see what it feels like for those youth who cross over and go from Cubs into Scouts. What does it feel like to be with new people that you need to learn to work with? And it gives you a whole different view on what those kids experience as they go through the scouting program.
Yeah, and that's hard for people like us to sometimes grasp, because we've been in it for so long. We know the lingo, we know everything that's going to be coming up, and we have to sometimes sit back and look at this through the eyes of somebody that doesn't know anything, and really focus on that. Understand that, all right, well, maybe we cut back on the jargon just a little bit when we're talking about what's the SPL. Well, they don't know what an SPL is because they're brand new. Yeah.
And there's no level, you know, whether you're just in Cubs for a year or two, then you can use these skills for so many years. We've also had Scouts who thought, oh, I'm an Eagle, I've done everything, I don't need that Wood Badge. We've had a few of those guys and ladies take it, and it's surprising what they get out of it, and they say, had I only known, I should have done this earlier.
Yeah.
We hear that comment probably the most. If I'd have known what this was about, I would have done it sooner. So it's for everyone, and we hope that every unit will send someone to the course because it only strengthens your unit.
Yeah, you actually answered the question I was going to ask next, which is, if you have those people that are Eagle Scouts or have been in the program for 20, 30 years, how do you respond to them to say, well, I'm an Eagle Scout, or I've been doing this for 30 years, what could I possibly get out of it? How do you respond to that?
We never stop learning. Every day we should be learning something. And if you embrace the course and you jump in with both feet, you'll be surprised how many things you'll learn and how many tools you'll take home with you to use later.
Yeah.
This will be my 5th course. I took it. I've worked on 4 courses, and I can tell you, as I get ready for this 5th one, every course I take away something different. It just depends on where you are in life as to what speaks to you, from the presentations, from the hands-on games and experiences that we do. You'll take something different home, every person, because of where you are in life, what you're doing in scouting, where you work, where your family is, that it's the things you're going to learn are applicable in every aspect of your life.
Yeah, because I mean, it is a big commitment. You're talking 2 weekends away from home over, what is it, 5 or 6 week period. So yeah, that's a big commitment. And you can't just say, sorry, I need to leave at 4 o'clock Saturday because my kid's got a soccer game or something. No, you're
here.
You're here for the whole time.
And so are we. We don't leave either.
Exactly. Yeah, you're there too. One of the aspects of it that I get asked a lot, and I'm sure you do too, is explain what the tickets mean. We hear that a lot. Is what's the deal with the tickets and how does that work?
So in the training, we give you lots of tools and things that you're going to learn. The tickets are the practical part of it. Now you have the tools, let's use them. So the purpose of the ticket is to go back to your unit, council, district, depends on what level of scouting you're in, but go back to your scouting and look at what are some things that I see that we could do better. So everybody looks at, if you're in Cubs, you look at your unit, what are things that could use a little tweaking and a little improvement? Is it communication? Is it working with new parents? Is it recruitment? What are things that you can do that will strengthen your unit and leave a lasting impact? Same thing with a scout troop. What are some things you can do that will help your scouts and your adults? If you're at the district level, there are certainly things you can do within your district in helping with programming. Your district puts on the Klondike and so many other activities. What are some things you could do to help in your district? And for those people that are part of the council, there's always things to get involved with in the council. And usually you're also involved in a unit. So it can be all those things. We want those tickets to trace back to the youth. How does it improve the scouting program for the youth that you serve?
And you have to do 5 tickets.
5 things.
You have
18
18 months
months
to complete them. I've got a couple more months to go on mine. Correct me if I'm wrong, one of them has to be related to recruiting, I believe?
One of them has to be related to membership.
Membership.
And then one is diversity.
Yes. And that was it as far as specifics go. Then the others, and you obviously want to make them attainable. You don't want to say something that is just going to be.
You're not going to try to increase the size of double the size of your unit, because that's not something you have control over.
Yeah.
But if you can maybe increase the visibility of your unit, that's something.
Create a website, say, or a social media presence, something like that.
Do some, I'm going to create a social media presence, and I'm going to take pictures when we go on outings, and I'm going to post things about what our unit's doing, and that will help drive some publicity and start that. Then when you go out recruiting, people have seen your unit. It makes it easier to join if they've seen you out there. So there's so many things. The tickets can encompass so many things.
Yeah, and you guys help with that, because I know there was a big board with dozens of ideas.
So we go to the district executives, we go to the district chairman, we go to your units. We give you lots of ideas on how to build those tickets, and we have sessions and counselors that will help you make those. It seems like it's an overwhelming thing, but we really work with each and every person to make sure that they have tickets that make sense for them, and that they can accomplish in that 18-month time frame.
They need to be attainable, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you have, once you've gotten approval on your 5 tickets, you'll be then given an advisor.
Yes.
Although I call Alan Hoy my probation officer, but similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's an advisor that you'll work with and check in every so often.
So you have a ticket counselor, and they will check
Still
in
working
with
on them,
you.
Alan, by the way. Still working on them. Just So you know.
You can do it.
I know.
You can do
Yeah.
it. But your ticket counselor will check in with you. And certainly if something, maybe your role in scouting changes and now this one ticket is no longer attainable for you, there's a process by which we can modify those to make it fit the environment and the place you are in scouting at that time. Because let's face it, things change and we can change with it.
Yeah. A lot can happen over 18 months.
Absolutely.
And then once those are completed, talk a second about the beading ceremony. You've got a few of them hanging there.
Yes, so then we come to you when you've completed your tickets. So you've talked with your ticket counselor, they've signed off that you've completed your tickets, and then it goes to the course director, and then it comes here to the council. And then usually the course director will call you and say, okay, when would you like to have your presentation done? And we send someone out to wherever you are and wherever you want that to be. A lot of times we do it at the unit. So it's a great thing for scouts to see that even adults were still learning, that we have a lifetime of learning, and Wood Badge is part of that. So we come out, we have a little ceremony, we present your beads and your neckerchief, and you get to wear those forever from then on.
And it's important, like you had said, to, whenever possible, do those ceremonies in front of the youth so that they know that it's not just them that are doing the learning, that we adults are also involved in that. So they always say, if we can do it at a PAC meeting or a troop meeting or a court of honor, it's.
I've been to all of
You've
those.
been to all of those,
I have been to all of those.
So we're not. It's not that long. You're in and out in 5-10 minutes, but it's important for them to see that. A, this is important, and B, that your adult leaders are serious about improving themselves.
It's also important, I think, for the parents that entrust their scouts to you to see that you are doing your best to provide the best program possible for their kids.
All right. We've got a slide we want to put up so that everybody can see about our course. As we mentioned, this is an internationally recognized leadership development course for Scouters. It was originally started by Baden-Powell, the founder of the Scouting movement, back in 1919 over in England. And this was a way to ensure that the leaders of Scout troops were getting proper training. The dates for our courses here in Great Trail, you can see they're on screen, April 17th to the 19th and May 16th and 17th. Different location this year. We're out at Manitowoc and Butler this year. Last year we were out at Stambaugh, so different location there. And as you can see, you must attend both sessions. The cost to attend is $315 per person if you pay in full by February 16th. And then I think after that it goes up to, $330 maybe is the price. And the most important one on there, financial assistance is available. So just like there's financial assistance available for the youth with NYLT, there is also financial assistance available for those that might need it to attend Wood Badge. In fact, there's a scholarship dinner coming up at the end of January where we'll all get together and like a little mini reunion of all the people that have attended before, but it serves as the proceeds from that going to pay for scholarships for both NYLT and Wood Badge.
We don't want finances to be any reason that someone doesn't attend. So if there is a financial need, please, my email is in the information for the course, and we want to make sure that anyone who wants to attend has the ability to attend.
That's right. You can scan the QR code that you see there on screen, or you can do the address at the bottom of the screen there, which is gtcscouting.org/Wood Badge. And I think at this point now, it's just now we need a lot of attendees.
We just need attendees. It's going to be a blast. Wood Badge courses are mostly fun. A lot of learning, but lots of fun. You're going to meet and work with great people from the staff to the participants. These courses, I just can't stress enough how important they are and just how much fun you have going.
It is. It is.
You could do it again, wouldn't you?
Oh, of course. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. And I will say that they do a really good job of matching everybody up in the patrols. Because it's typically going to be people that you may not know. Because, I mean, our council's pretty large, we cover a pretty big area, and I didn't know any of the people in my patrols, but now, we do group chats and group texts and stuff still to this.
Isn't it amazing how in 5 days you bond
I
with
saw
these
them.
people?
Yeah, I saw them a couple weeks ago at University Scouting when I saw you to talk about coming tonight, and yeah, we still see each other, and just they do such a good job of just it's like finding your roommates in college. It's the same thing. It's they do such a great job of matching people up with that. So, is there anything else that we should know about the course or anything like that we want to
I think we've gone through most of it, and we just hope, like he said, scan that QR code, look for it online. Registration is open, and we would love to have each and every one of you.
Yeah, the more the better. I forgot to ask, because we have to do this. What is your critter?
I'm a bear.
You used to be a bear. I used to be a bobwhite.
Very good.
So that's one of the things, the patrols, you'll hear a lot about critters. Every patrol is a different animal, and that goes with you. And there's a song that you will sing many, many times. You'll think, how am I going to memorize this? But by the third day, you've got it down pat because you sing it so many times.
And it is funny, you do tend to identify with your critter after a while.
You do, yeah.
You really do. You kind of become one with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Lisa Testa, she's the course director for next year's Wood Badge course. Lisa, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's
a pleasure.
We didn't screw up the slides like we did last time. That was good. We just did one slide, so.
Sometimes keeping it easy.
We trying to keep it simple here. All right, so thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, time now for our second hot topic, and we're going to take a look at a relatively new position in units, the new member coordinator. What is it? Does your unit have one? So, let's learn what it's all about. Garfield Murden is back with this video presentation.
Welcome, Scouting leaders. Today we're talking about a position that could transform your unit's growth and retention, the new member coordinator. Quick poll, does your troop have a new member coordinator? If you answered yes, fantastic. If you're thinking, a new member what? Or, I heard of it, but I'm not sure what they do, you're in the perfect place. Let's dive in. The new member coordinator role serves two vital functions. One, reaching out to potential members and families, inviting them to join your unit. And two, welcoming new members and ensuring they feel connected enough to stay. Both goals can be accomplished in countless ways, which is why this position works best when shared among multiple adults. Unlike most positions, the new member coordinator role is designed to be filled by a team of 2, 3, or even more volunteers. Like other committee positions, you decide how many coordinators you need and how to divide responsibilities based on your unit size, program type, and their unique talents. Let's look at who might thrive in this role. Do you have a naturally friendly parent who loves meeting new people? They could be perfect for greeting visitors at meetings and answering those important questions of potential scouting families. Remember, they don't need to know every answer, just where to find them. Is someone in your unit social media savvy? They might coordinate your online presence and share exciting troop activities to welcome new families. Do you have an organized parent who keeps everything running smoothly? They could prepare welcome packets and ensure your troop calendar gets to every new family. Do you need someone to keep your bscout.org pin updated and respond to online inquiries? This could be the perfect task for a tech-comfortable coordinator. Do you want better connections with local Cub Scout packs? A coordinator could build those relationships and create a smooth transition for Arrow of Light-to-Scouts. These are just a few examples of ways that members of the new member coordinator team can help your units. I'm sure you can think of other ways that this team of volunteers can help recruit and retain members of your troop. Imagine a new scouting family arriving at your meeting for the first time. Without a new member coordinator, they might stand awkwardly at the door, unsure where to go or who to talk to. With a coordinator greeting them, they're immediately connected and engaged. New scouting families often have questions that might seem basic to experienced scouters. What exactly do we need to buy for the uniform? How often do you go camping? What's this thing called Scoutbook, and how do I use it? Your new member coordinator team becomes their go-to resource, making that critical first impression positive and welcoming. Here's something unique about this position. New member coordinators don't wear the traditional field uniform. Instead, they wear a more casual, approachable uniform featuring the welcome logo on a shirt or hat, name tag or pin. This deliberate choice makes them more approachable to families who might find the full uniform intimidating at first. These items can be ordered through Scout Shop, and the logo is available to download for custom uses. I hope you now see how valuable a new member coordinator team can be for your unit. Whether you're a pack, troop, crew, ship, or post, this role helps you grow and retain members more effectively. Want to learn more? Visit the website on the screen for position descriptions and resources. And remember, there's online training available through my.scouting.org. Your troop's growth doesn't happen by accident. A dedicated new member coordinator team could be the key to welcoming and retaining the next generation of scouts to your unit. Before we wrap up, consider these questions for the next leadership meeting. And thank you for all of your support.
All right, thank you again, Garfield. Well, it's December, and that means before you know it, hopefully your troop will be welcoming new Arrow of Light crossovers. Are you ready? Have you been in communication with your area packs to help welcome them and transition them into your troop? Let's dive into this. Now, in scouting, we always want to be prepared. The Cub Scout program aims to prepare Cub Scouts to become members of a Scouts BSA troop. The Arrow of Light-to-Scouts BSA transition is an exciting time for when this transition takes place. It is important that both the pack and the troop work together to help ensure that the process is seamless and fun for both youth and their families. Now remember that with the new Cub Scout program that was introduced in 2024, packs should be preparing to cross over their Arrow of Light Scouts to troops in the February to March timeframe. Possibly earlier, if the Arrow of Light Scouts are ready, it's very possible that they could come earlier. I know there's been some people on social media on some of the forums talking about they've got some scouts that are going to cross over to a troop in December because they're ready. Ideally, the move from a pack to a troop should take place in time for the new scouts to become familiar with their new patrol members, troop guide, and troop leaders, and for them to begin working on requirements to prepare for attending their first Scouts BSA summer camp. And I say this as a troop leader, don't wait until May or June to cross over to a troop. You want to give them enough time to acclimate to their troop, and their first camp out with the troop should not be summer camp. They should get a couple of campouts in before then. Now, pack and troop leaders should be in constant communication with one another. There are many things throughout the program year that leaders can do to show Cub Scouts what Scouts BSA has to offer. You can organize visits for Cub Scouts to see how troop meetings are run, planning outings so that we Arrow of Lights can experience camping using the patrol method, assigning den chiefs so that parents can see examples of Scouts in action, and so that Cub Scouts can have some familiarity with members of the troop that they plan to join. And you want to plan and conduct a crossover ceremony to welcome Cub Scouts to the troop. Now, the crossover ceremony should clearly signify the transition to a new level of scouting. Completing the Cub Scout program and beginning Scouts BSA is a big accomplishment for youth. whether or not the Arrow of Light is earned. Remember, you don't have to earn the Arrow of Light in order to cross over into a troop. Crossover ceremonies are an important recruiting tool, not only for those participating, but also for those younger dens who can see what is coming next for them in scouting. There are many ways to conduct the crossover ceremony. Some units provide their new scouts with their handbook, others with a troop neckerchief, slide, patches, and shoulder loops. Some units choose to have their Order of the Arrow members perform the ceremony. Whichever method units may choose, the ceremony should be meaningful and impactful for all in attendance. All right, I want to take a minute to share some information about a couple of webinars that are coming up. The first is for our venturing crews. Guys, we haven't forgot about you venturers out there. There is a venturing webinar coming up on Wednesday, December 17th, live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can learn about general program updates to the venturing program, as well as updates to the Ranger Award. Now you can head to the Venturing Facebook page for a link to the registration for this webinar. And for our Scouts BSA troops, there are now new monthly webinars centered around advancement that are taking place on the first Wednesdays of the month, live at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, yesterday's webinar, there was just one yesterday, that covered boards of review and how to effectively do boards of review, and also to remind everybody that boards of review aren't retests. The January webinar is going to cover Eagle Scout extension requests. In those cases when those are needed, how that process works. Now, we'll post links to all those registrations on our Roundtable page, and all of the webinars will be recorded for viewing later. We have now some updates to the membership and unit renewal process for this year, including some changes that have taken place since the last Roundtable. So let's look at that slide to share with you the details on what to expect. So as far as membership renewal goes, just a reminder, the adventure fee is now going to be paid at the time of membership renewal, not paid to the unit. The unit's not going to be responsible for that anymore. And there is registration fee and adventure fee financial assistance available if needed. In addition, this is new for membership renewal, installment payments are now available through Klarna. Those of you that do online purchasing, you've probably seen Klarna in a lot of things when you go to purchase something, and it talks about you can do installment payments on your purchases. This is the same thing. Unit renewal for 2025, there's been some improvements there. The renewal window opened a month ago. You've only got a week to get your unit renewals in, so make sure you hurry up and get those done if you haven't already. The deadline is December 12th. After that, there's going to be a $125 late fee imposed on units that haven't renewed by then. Now, it's also important to remember that if any of your members hold multiple positions or registrations, they must renew their membership themselves in order to retain all of the multiple positions and registrations. If the unit does it, they're only going to get renewed for that unit, and ultimately all of the other registrations that they're multipled into will get dropped. The other important thing to remember is if you are a traditionally chartered unit, meaning you still have a chartered organization, there is no paperwork to turn in. You do it all online. Now, support is available. Contact your unit commissioner, your district commissioner, or your district executive if you need help with the renewal process, if you have members needing more financial assistance than your unit can provide, and we ask you don't contact the registrar directly. If you have help or you need instructions, you can see there on the bottom of the screen at gtcscouting.org/renew. That is our webpage that covers all that. We do want to point out that in terms of payments, you can still pay by credit card. Just remember that there is a 3% processing fee if you pay by that method. Payment by ACH is no longer permitted because there were too many issues with that method, and we just don't want to deal with that again. But there is an e-check option available, and that comes with no processing fees. And as we mentioned before, there's a new option to pay for membership renewals, which is the Scouting America has partnered with Klarna to split your payments into installments, and there's numerous options available for those installments. Many of those options are interest-free, so you'd be able to make installment payments interest-free. And the option for that payment method will appear at the time of membership renewal. All right, up next, we want to share the calendar of upcoming training to make sure that you have them on your unit calendars to save the date. Because remember, every scout deserves a trained leader. First up is training fundamentals. And I just realized I skipped events, Steve, so we have to go back to that. You're nodding your head there. All right, training fundamentals, part 2, the craft of training. This is what is formerly known as Trainer's Edge. This is on December 13th from 7:45 to 1 at First Christian Church in Stowe, and it is $6 a person for that. We have Cub Scout Rangemaster training. A couple dates for that coming up next year, January 10th, February 10th, and March 28th. That is from 9 to 5 at both camps Manitowoc and Stambaugh. They will be running simultaneously at both camps. This is free, part of the adventure fee, and we do need a lot of range masters. So as part of the adventure fee, we all know that Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA troops can do range and target activity days out at camp. We need range masters to run those. So this is the training for that. If you have den chiefs, and if you don't, you really need some. But if you have den chiefs, there is den chief training coming up on March 7th. That will be from 8:30 to noon at St. Stephen Lutheran Church in Stowe. That training is free. It's part of the adventure fee. And as we talked earlier with Lisa, Wood Badge is coming up April 17th through the 19th at Camp Manitowoc, and then May 16th and 17th at Camp Butler. And yes, you have to attend both sessions. You can see everything on there, and a reminder that the early bird pricing for that ends on February 16th. So a couple things a little later on down the line. Summer camp leaders, there will be a pre-camp meeting that's coming up, as well as swim tests. So all of those things will be coming up soon, and you can get to all of those on the calendar of events, as well as NYLT, National Youth Leader Training. So we talked about Wood Badge being the top of the mountain as far as adult leaders go. The same holds true for NYLT. That is a week-long course, June 7th through the 12th at Camp Stambaugh. There will be a boys and a girls course that will be offered. And there is financial assistance available. We talked about that. And there is a special incentive this year. If your scout attends both NYLT and summer camp, both of them the Great Trail sessions, you can get a $50 discount off your registration fee. And you can register online for all of those. You can see the address at the bottom of the screen there, gtcscouting.org/calendar-events. All right, we skipped it, but we're going to go back real quick to talk about upcoming events. We've got a lot of events coming up over the next couple of months, so let's take a look at them. A couple of them are district related. The first is out in Canal District. This Saturday, they are having their district retreat. It is on December 6th, this Saturday, from 8 to 1 at the Barberton Moose Lodge. And they are charging $5 to basically cover lunch, which I'm told is chili. That's what they usually have at that event. So you'll get to plan the upcoming year for activities in Canal District. On December 13th is the Marnock Lodge Order of the Arrow Winter Banquet. It's going to be from 4 to 9 at the St. Nicholas Banquet Center in Mogadore. That's off of 224, I believe. The cost to attend that is $50. Now that includes your 2026 dues. So that includes dinner, usually a pretty good dinner, and your dues as well. Now the early bird pricing for that ends this Saturday the 6th. After that, the price goes up to, I believe, $70. So make sure if you're going to go to that you sign up early. On January 17th and April 18th, they're going to be offering a merit badge workshop for the personal management merit badge. You have to attend both sessions because there is a 90-day window on there for some of the requirements. But that is going to be offered from 9 to 2 both days at Camp Stambaugh. And that is an adventure program, so that means it's free. Canal District is going to be having their spring camporee on March 21st from 9 to 4 out at Camp Manitowoc. So if you're a part of Canal District, you can head out to Manitowoc that day and partake in some fun activities and some great troop and patrol competitions. In July, it is Summer Camp on Steroids, otherwise known as the National Scout Jamboree. July 22nd to the 31st. It is at the Summit Bechtel Reserve in West Virginia, right down the street from where our producer grew up. This is a big event. Great Trail will be sending some contingents for that, and you can find out all of the information on that. We're in the process now of filling those units that will travel down. You'll be spending 10 days down at the summit doing all sorts of great high adventure activities and meeting scouts from all over the country and all over the world. A couple of things to note. The Great Trail Council offices will be closed from December 19th through January 2nd, and they will reopen on January 5th. So if you have any business to do, make sure that you do it at the council office before December 19th. And just a quick reminder to save the date, the spring flower sale will begin on February 13th. So for those of you that partake in that, my troop did last year, we did really well with it. You can sign up for that shortly, and you can see the scouting.org, gtcscouting.org, /calendar-events to sign up for any of those events. Now, we're getting close to Klondike Derby season, so let's make sure you know of the dates so your troop can plan to attend this free adventure program. Canal District, you're up first. Your Klondike is going to be January 16th through the 18th at Camp Manitowoc. Crooked River will be the weekend after that, January 23rd to the 25th, also out at Camp Manitowoc. Stambaugh District, you're February 6th through the 8th at Camp Stambaugh. And Soaring Eagle will close things out February 13th to the 15th out at Camp Manitowoc. This is free to attend. It's part of the adventure fee programs. Out-of-council units, we know we do get some out-of-council units that attend. It will cost you only $10 per person to attend that. And you can see the patch there. The theme of the Klondike this year is Tales of Our Past. The booklets with the leader guides and all of the events, that will be coming out shortly. So stay tuned for that on the registration page so that you can begin to prepare for your district's Klondike. And remember, you can attend any one of the 4 district Klondikes if one happens to work better for you and your unit than another. All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank everyone for watching, everyone who was with me on camera tonight, and everyone who helped behind the scenes. I want to give a special shout out as we close out 2025 to my 2 assistants who are working every month behind the camera. Steve Myers, my executive producer, who's controlling everything that you see on screen. Hopefully he's not going to take me to black before I'm done here tonight. And Sherry Buck, our council commissioner, who not only monitors the chat every month, but keeps us fed, which is very important because, as we all know, the 13th point of the Scout Law is a Scout is hungry. Our next Cub Roundtable will be on Thursday, January 8th. It's a special date. We're going to be home enjoying New Year's Day on the 1st, and we won't actually be here on that day. And our next Scouts BSA Roundtable will be Thursday, February 5th, all right here, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube Live. Sherry, I'm going to look over. Do we have any questions that we need to answer in the chat? Nope, we're good. All right. Well, to close out tonight, we have a video from the National Council illustrating some Scouts in action and many of the awesome activities that we do. Feel free to share this video with prospective families to let them see some of the fun activities that they can do in Scouting. Thank you for all you do for Scouting, and happy holidays. We'll see you on the trail. Good night, everyone. 1,